Hi folks, Dr. O here. It's Friday evening. It's gonna get dark fairly quickly. I'm just in the garden here. As you can probably hear, the birds are all singing around me, probably saying the last few songs before they head off to bed. And I wanted to just share maybe a 10-minute video here on a subject that's actually quite sensitive, but also one I think that's important to address right now in the current climate. And it's come up actually a few times over the last couple of weeks, and even today I got a message from somebody I know. So it's really interesting that I was going to tackle this either today or tomorrow. I've had issues with my internet, so I thought I'd just quickly, I don't have Wi-Fi at the moment because we've moved back into our house and we don't have anything, so I'm on 4G. Hopefully this is coming through clearly enough for you. So if you're watching this and you are in a relationship with somebody and you're either married or, whatever, partner, or you've got friends that are in that situation, you may want to pass this or share this video on. But this is definitely a subject that I'm seeing being magnified at the moment in the current climate with couples, and particularly because people are in lockdown, so they're in close proximity with each other. Now, the average couple on a day-to-day basis, week-by-week basis, get up, go to work, say their goodbyes, go off into their own separate worlds where they have their own identity, and that identity addresses several things that basic human needs need to be met. So for example, in the workspace we get connection with other people, which is a massive thing for human beings. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you'll know very quickly that that's one of our greatest needs, is the need for belonging, connection with other people. We also get a great sense of variety, because when we go into the workspace, we're away from our family and we're doing something different. We're giving ourselves challenges, opportunities to mix with other people. When I say the workspace, it could be your business, if you're self-employed. If you're in a job, it's away from your family in your workspace. In other words, you're employed. So we get that variety. That also creates and fulfills a need for us, but it creates an opportunity for us to keep growing. So that's another need that's met. Now, I want you to be aware of this, because in all the years that I've been in the world of personal development, one of the big areas that I've worked on with people when it comes to stage interventions, group interventions, audience interaction, is this checking in to make sure that all of our needs are being met. And for many, many people, when they get pissed off, frustrated, and feeling like a pushback against what they're doing, it's because they're not getting their core needs met. Human needs are absolutely vital for every single human being, myself included. We all get them. We get frustrated if we don't get them met. So that's another one that gets met. So we get this belonging, this connection, we get this variety. We also get a great sense of importance or significance or ego, or whatever you want to call it. Maslow referred to this as this need for us to have our egos met, our need to feel fulfilled by being important in what we do. And we get that as well in our jobs. So you can imagine, and by the way, that's 3 needs being met. If you get 3 needs met on a consistent basis, it's quite addictive, whatever you're doing. Another one would be a sense of certainty, security. So the great need for us all to have security in our lives plays out in our core lives, but also in our financial lives and in our careers as well. You go out, you work, you have a great sense of certainty that you can do a good job. You know that if you show up and you're consistent, you're going to get paid well, but you're also certain that you can provide a great service to people. That's 4 needs immediately being met, and you've got growth, and you've also got the need to give to other human beings as well. But let's put those aside for a minute. Now let's talk about couples. So what I'm noticing at the moment is there's a lot of people going into one of 2 stages of change. One of those stages is, I want to grow, I want to be coached, I want to listen to audio programs, I want to go online and watch YouTube videos and learn and grow, and I want to go study other people. I have something called the Growth Tribes. You may be familiar with it. You might even be watching this. You're in the Growth Tribes, which is great. And that's just an online community where people hang out together and we share. I did a coaching session this week, which was amazing, with a young man who's had some blocks around communication. So this need to grow and to expand, for many people, is a perfect opportunity. You're away from work, you're away from those distractions. However, you're wanting to get these needs met. So you're actually reflecting now and you're saying, okay, hold on a minute. Shit, to make more money. I want to have some more security. What if I don't go back to the same work environment that I had before? What if actually the job that I had before isn't going to be the same job when I go back because of this whole situation with COVID? The company might restructure. It might have a different approach to business. My role might not be the same, or it might not even be there. And in fact, today, myself and Harminder, those of you that have followed us, Harminder Tour, we have our Grow Tribes podcast, which is a free podcast that's gone out around the world. I think we had 5,000 downloads already. Amazing. And we covered the subject of online business. And it's I think that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So look out for that. And this is the whole subject of I don't feel secure. I want to generate additional income online, for example. So imagine a husband wants to grow. His wife, on the other hand, is different. Or the other way around, the wife wants to grow and the husband doesn't want to grow. So we're locked down. You're in the same household with the same person. You're not getting the same variety that you used to get. So there's starting to be a bit of a clash because you're not getting that need met. Maybe you're not getting that sense of significance or importance that you would get in the workspace, because when you're in the workspace, you're out, you're doing what you're doing. And if this is making any sense, give me a thumbs up or give me some sort of acknowledgement here. If you're live, I guess you'll do it. Sorry, if you're watching this later on, I guess you'll see this as well. Nice to see you, Sanjay. So what typically happens is when people are compressed into a small space and there isn't that variety and there isn't that sense of growth and you're locked down 24 hours a day almost, you're not going to get that same level of variety that you get in the workspace or in your career. Also, the connection that you get with all these other people, you may not be getting it in your home. And in fact, you and your partner might start to clash. You've had all these years of being together, but being apart for 8 or 9 hours a day. And now you're together for a much more concentrated period. And this can lead to one of two things. And I've also, I'm not going to sit here and say to you that I'm perfect, because we have our own challenges at home. We've got 2 kids, myself and my partner. We have different things we're trying to achieve at the same time. We're trying to achieve the same thing. We're trying to work on our house. So that leads to hot spots during the course of a week. High volume conversations, but at the same time, other conversations that are evolving and growing and expanding. And the key thing here is to be self-conscious, to be self-aware, to be self-reflective, be a silent witness, as Deepak Chopra would say. And to reflect on yourself. If you're starting to get frustrated with your partner, maybe they're spending time. I mean, there are more people being coached right now than maybe there was even 3 or 4 months ago. They're tuning in. They're finding somebody that they can reach out to, and they want to be coached because they want to grow and expand and develop themselves. It might be the wife, for example, and the husband might not like that, might feel a resistance to it. The husband might be very security driven. Well, why are you doing that? Why are you investing some money in that? We should just bolt down and stay safe, and I don't think you should be doing that right now. But if you think about it, his wife wants to expand because she's concerned. She wants to do something that's going to create variety. She wants to do something that's going to create opportunity. She wants to maybe bring some of her skills and some of her history and some of her background, put it on the table, have a coach look at it and say, what if you did this? What if you did this? What about if you release some money from here? What if you did this? What if you expand into property investing? What if you started an online business? What if you were to go out and develop this skill that you've had before and create a product that you could sell, for example? Meanwhile, husband's sitting there thinking, you know what, I've been in this career for many years. I'm just going to bolt down, head down. I don't need to learn anything new. And this is the challenge if you have a conflict. There's a brilliant book that you might, and I highly recommend that you actually read it, but you might want to get it fairly quickly. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? I think it's by a guy called Dr. Spencer Johnson from memory. This book sold millions. 4 little characters in this book. Very simplistic book. But as you read the book, you'll start to identify what character you are, but also maybe what character your partner is. And some people just don't want to grow. Some people actually are afraid of it, or they're not familiar with the idea of growth. Some people literally will happily sit and do nothing for weeks, months, years, with no aspiration to grow and evolve at all. And if you are with a partner like that, it can be challenging. It's not that you don't love your partner. It's just that they are at a different level of emotional development than you. And if you're watching this and you're maybe being forced to watch this because your partner said, you got to watch this video with Dr. Rowe. This is exactly the situation that's going on in our relationship. Honey, we got to sit down and talk about this. Listen to what this bald guy is saying. If you're watching this video and your partner's asked you to watch it, please don't get pissed off with them. It might just be that they desperately need to get a message to you to say, honey, I love you. dearly, dearly want us to make some changes. I know maybe you're not ready to go into that space, and maybe you're not wanting to grow and change at the same rate that I am. But please allow me to do this, because I want to learn a new subject. I want to expand. I want to grow. I want to develop. I want to start a new business. And in order to do this, I'm going to have to pick up books. I'm going to have to find a coach, a mentor. I'm going to have to study one of these online programs. It's going to mean taking a few hours on an evening or 4 or 5 hours a week to do this. And with your support, I know I can do this amazingly well. But without your support, I still want to do this, but it's going to create a challenge for us. It's going to create a conflict for us. And if you're watching this and this makes any sense at all to you, or you've seen this in your family or people around you, it might even be happening in your own relationship right now, please give me a thumbs up or give me some kind of indication, because it is one of the biggest challenges I've seen as a speaker now, globally now, for the last 25, 30 years. And I get quite upset even now, after all these years, when I see a beautiful person in the room. It could be a young person, medium age or older age, male, female, doesn't matter. And they are there in the room and their eyes are open and they're hungry to grow and learn and they're really aspirant. And then I see them come in the next day and they seem flat. I say, yeah, okay, yeah. I went home last night and my husband or my wife just was really negative about this. They think it's a scam. They think I'm in a cult or whatever. And I get quite saddened by that, and I have to get into their heart and just remind them that you're your own individual person. You've got your own needs, and you can't live your needs by your partner's needs. If you reduce your aspirations, if you make yourself small in order to fit into somebody else's personal circumstances and sets of values and beliefs, it will not allow you to grow. And, if you're sitting here watching this as husband and wife right now, it's not about one person being better than the other. I think that's an important distinction to make it. It's simply that one of you might be in a different place in your life than the other. It might be that one of you is just ready to grow and learn and expand, and the other one isn't. So rather than hold that person back, allow them to fly, because ultimately they're doing it for the good of both you and the family and themselves as well. And, if nothing else, support them. You don't have to do what they're doing. And by the way, if you're the person wanting to grow, to be coached, to go and listen to seminars, to watch videos like this and to expand and develop yourself, please don't tell your partner that you're holding me back. Please don't force them to do what you're wanting to do. You've just got to pursue it anyway. And this is what I've discovered from my own life as well. I've got people in my family that have no interest in what I do. And in fact, I did an amazing interview with Harminder just recently. It was a podcast, and it was to do with the COVID disease and how to improve your immune system and how to look after yourself. It was with Dr. Rob Verkerk and a lovely lady called Mel, that you might have heard this interview already. And I put this out to my family. I think only one member of my family, one member, actually came back from our WhatsApp group and commented. I don't even know if the others actually watched it. Now, years ago, I would have got upset by that. I would have tried to force them to watch it and say, you need to watch this. It's amazing. You've got to watch it. It's like, absolutely, you've got to do this. You've got to do this. And I just looked at it and thought, well, there's no point in even me pushing or saying, have you watched this? Because it's not about me. I did it because I thought maybe they could benefit from it. But I can't be a judge of them. And I also can't force myself upon them in terms of my own values and beliefs. So the key message here is, if you're in that space of growing right now and you're watching this and you know that's where you are and you want to study a new subject to learn and grow and expand through this period of COVID and beyond, hopefully, and your partner's not in that space, number one, stay true to yourself. That's really important. But also stay true to the relationship. Sit down together, have a discussion. The two of you need to share where you're at. Explain why you're doing what you're doing, and tell your partner that you love him or her dearly and you're going to do this with or without them, but you really, really appreciate their support. But equally, find out what their needs are. Ask your partner what he or she needs. Maybe they want to do something, but they've been afraid to do it, or they don't have the finances to do it, or they don't feel that you've got the finances to do it, and they feel annoyed that you're spending money which they don't feel that should be spent right now. Or it might be that then they just got a lack of clarity, and maybe they've got a block around personal development and growing. They want to do it, but they're not sure how to do it. Or it might just simply be that they're just not there. That's not where they want to be right now. And assuming that you're both together and you love each other and that shouldn't affect the relationship, that's fine. If it does affect the relationship because one of you feels that you're outgrowing the other, that's a whole different conversation, and that's probably a conversation for a different day. That almost needs a coaching session in its own right. And if it's a subject that you feel you want me to cover, I'm happy to take that on live here. We certainly do it inside the growth tribes because it's something that is a bit more of a safer community, and people reach out to me and ask me those questions. But look, hopefully this is a not too serious a message for a Friday night, but it's an important one. And if you've got friends or family or somebody that you care about that you think deserves or you feel should watch this, approach them in the way that just say, look, I've seen this video, I think it might be really valuable for you to watch it. It kind of resonated and struck a chord. And if it's your partner, say, honey, look, I know we've been having some pretty big discussions about this recently. I just saw a video with Dr. O and I thought maybe you could have a watch of it because I think he's kind of hit a chord that both of us really need to address. And the main message here is sit down, talk about what you're both feeling. What are your needs? And maybe explain what needs that you're not getting met. Honey, I wish we'd do more of this. I wish we'd communicate more. I wish we'd have more adventure together, or do something that we can study together rather than it just be you doing it. How about we do it together? Might be that you're spending so much time doing what you're doing that your partner feels that she or he hasn't got the time to do something, and maybe they feel you're being a bit selfish. So who knows? Either way, I think the communication is really important to have, and it's something I know for us in our family that we're looking to do this more over the coming weeks, even with our kids. So, look, I'm going to sign out. I've got some food to have and some time to spend with the family. Enjoy your weekend, everybody, and I'm sending lots of love. The birds are still singing and the sun is just going down. So enjoy the rest of the weekend, and hopefully if I get time, I'll do a couple more lives over the weekend. Take care. Thank you. Somebody said it's just definitely hitting a chord or two. So thanks for that, Sanjay. And do spread the word. I'm trying to cover subjects that I know right now are being magnified. And remember, the minute you put two people or a family together in one place for a concentrated period of time, it is going to magnify some of the maybe minor issues that become bigger issues. And they're subjects that maybe should have been tackled over the years, and now this is bringing it to the surface. So it's a great time to talk about it. So look after yourself. Namaste, and I'll see you all over the weekend.